we should know so far. So, what makes a parallelogram a parallelogram? Let's not. What makes a parallelogram a parallelogram?
Parallel lines.
Opposite sides are parallel. What makes a rectangle a rectangle? 90-degree angles. Rhombus.
All sides are equal.
All equal sides. Square.
All sides are equal.
All sides and angles are equal. Angles are still 90. Trapezoid.
One set of parallel lines.
One set of parallel lines. Very good. And I saw the parallel lines are called bases, and the not parallel lines are called legs. Isosceles triangle means the legs are congruent. You guys know which one I forgot or didn't say yet? Kite. And what makes a kite a kite?
Consecutive. Congruent.
Two consecutive congruent sides.
Oh, half right.
Two pairs
It's not
of.
all the way there.
Okay, so today we're talking about properties of parallelograms. And the first property of a parallelogram is basically the definition of a parallelogram. What makes a parallelogram a parallelogram?
Parallel.
Opposite sides
R
parallel.
and
Okay, so what did opposite means? Like across the way, like you're looking across the lake, across the street, whatever. Opposite. What did we call it when it's like next to each other? Like these two angles are next to each other. Consecutive. So like angle 1 and 2 are consecutive, but angles 1 and 3 are opposite, or 2 and 4. Anyway, opposite sides are parallel. That's the definition of parallelogram. You guys want to, maybe you can guess, what are some other things that are true about a parallelogram?
All angles are equal.
Okay, opposite angles are congruent. That is true. Put that for number 2.
Wait, are we already starting?
the diagonal along.
I'm talking, what do you think's going on?
We're like 2 angels in one.
Okay, this is not the lesson, or this is not the book assignment, this is the lesson. Anybody want to guess another one?
The opposite angles are.
Yeah, we just said that one.
Add up to 360.
They add up 360, that's for any quadrilateral, not for parallelograms, not just for parallelograms. No more guesses? There's like 3 more.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Those sides are, two sides are congruent to each other.
Opposite sides are congruent, yes. That's another one that people guess. Opposite sides are congruent. They look congruent, they are congruent. The way that we know these things are for sure true is basically if you draw a diagonal in there. Because these lines are parallel, like these angles are the same. Why are these angles the same?
Consecutive.
Alternate interior angles are congruent and lines are parallel. For the same reason, these two are the same. Which means these two triangles are congruent by angle side angle. Which means like these are the same and these are the same. So that's where we get all this stuff from.
Mr. Jordan?
Yeah.
Is there supposed to be the 2 angles on number 2?
He's in the books on
Okay.
I know.
Something else that is true. Well, if these lines are parallel, what do we know about angle 1 and 2? You guys know that? They're supplementary because we call them consecutive interior angles or supplementary. So consecutive angles are supplementary. That means they add up to 180. So if 2 angles are consecutive, like 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 1, these angles have to add up to 180. That's kind of a big deal. And there's one more. You wouldn't guess this one because it's not even in the picture. But if I draw it,
The diagonal.
if you draw two diagonals, are they congruent?
Yes.
No. This one's a lot shorter than this one. Can you tell? That one's shorter. They're not congruent. However, they do cut each other in half. So that means these are the same. See how they look the same? And these are the same. So what they say is diagonals bisect each other, which means they cut each other into two equal pieces. So diagonals bisect each other.
That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's amazing.
NGL.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
What's NGO stand for?
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Brooke and Luke do that all the time. Why are the three phones stacking?
It's 4.
That's
What?
4.
Because the sophomore boys are
NGL.
codependent.
OMG.
No, no.
Oh my.
I say
Oh,
TMI because
MFG.
Luke
Okay.
is TMI.
I only said it once.
TMI.
A, B,
Knuckle
C,
hole for
D,
me,
E,
sorry.
F, U. I hope your hair goes fully red.
All right, we got one more trick we need to talk about. If these lines are parallel, and let's say there's a line over here, and this line gets cut into congruent segments. So imagine like I don't know, I couldn't think of a good, kind of like a. What machine would be like this?
A projector.
It's kind of like the machine
Train
that
track.
like cuts like meat into equal slices.
Oh, I know.
Projector can do
A
that.
meat slicer.
Paper cutter?
Yeah, but a bunch of cuts at once, kind of like a paper cutter. But like there's multiple knives. If these parallel lines are cutting this segment into equal parts, then if you draw another line, another transversal, it's going to cut this into equal parts. Does that make sense? Okay, are these two going to be the same? No. The way I drew it, this would be shorter than this because I kind of slanted it. But these are the same if these are the same, and vice versa. So if those parallel lines are cutting into equal segments,
Because it's been like
Why
Give me my
not?
pen back, bro. It's attached to your hair, dude. Give me my pen back.
I did not do that.
I was in your
She
hair the whole
literally
time.
put it
I
there.
believe you because you couldn't find it.
Give me my pen.
Okay,
Before she stole it.
I did not-
if these lines are cutting equal segments and they're parallel, we're going to cut every line into equal segments. That's the gist of it. All right. So if AC is 10, how long is AB?
5.
5. You guys get it? Or if AB is 4, then BC is 4, and AC is 8. Very good. Okay, that's it. Not too tricky. Number 1. Here we go. Okay, number 1. Opposite sides in a parallelogram are what?
Congruent and parallel.
Congruent
Can we do evens this time?
and parallel.
Do not throw that at me.
His hand is vulnerable. Right.
I don't say it shattered. They said you had a
Didn't
belt
you
back in the
already
bed.
say-
He never got an X-ray. You were just saying stuff, right? Number 3.
I was told.
Consecutive angles are what?
Supplementary.
Supplementary.
We're so smart.
That means they add up to 180 when they're next to each other. Okay. Number 5. In that picture that they drew, what is angle C? 68, 55, angle C. All right. What's this is oh, I forgot again. I forgot in the other class too. In the directions, they have this written. What do you think that right there means? Parallelogram.
Wait.
So there's a parallelogram symbol. It looks like a parallelogram. So this is a parallelogram. So what must angle C be?
48.
48. Why is it 48? Because opposite angles are congruent. Okay, number 7. This might take a little bit more brain power. Angle ABD. Angle ABD. ABD. Right there.
The 55 alternate exterior angles.
Alternate interior angles.
Interior angles, so 55. So the ADB would be 55 degrees as well.
Okay. Yeah, at the beginning we talked about alternate interior angles. Yeah, these two will be the same.
And then add them up, and then that would be like 103 and then 180 minus 103.
Right. These three angles make a triangle, so they'd have to add up to 180. Here's another way to do it. I think this is the simplest, maybe. What do I know about this angle with this angle? What do I know about here? I'll redraw it. Yes. What do I know about this angle and this angle? They add up to 180. That's 1 point. Because the supplementary thing, right? Consecutive angles are supplementary. So 48 plus x plus 55 should equal 180. So basically you do 180 minus whatever these two are, which is eventually what James got to. Same thing. So yeah, these add up to 103. 180 minus 103 is 77. But what James said was also true. If that makes more sense to you, go with it.
You're in the Christmas
I
spirit,
love you, James.
Mr. Jordan.
What?
Thanks for
You're
that.
in the Christmas spirit.
Oh yeah.
How jolly. Case would die right now. Guys, who's all gonna watch the Jake Paul fight tonight?
Mr. Jordan.
Deep out drive.
With number 6 being number 6.
What, James?
If Jake Paul wins.
Mr. Jordan, Corbin
What?
has a question.
What'd you say, James?
Exterior angle. So an exterior angle is when you just extend this angle. So remember earlier we said this is 48, right? So exterior angle is when you just extend one of these sides. It'd be, what's that angle right there? All right. Where am I? Oh, number 9.
You need to be kicked out for that. That was so cool.
Guys, be quiet.
Let's see, 3.8. Now, they didn't write this in the picture, but they said in the directions that LJ is 6. So that would be this diagonal. What do we know about diagonals in a parallelogram? What do we know about diagonals in parallelograms? The one thing,
Bisect each
they
other.
bisect, which means these two, if I had drawn it nicely, these two are cut into equal pieces. So if LJ is 6,
Each side equals
then LN, yeah, these two, and NJ are 3. Okay, number 9 says, what's JM? So how long is JM?
3.4.
8.
Wait.
Don't make it too hard.
Come on, bro. Use your head.
Any ideas? JM?
Oh, I was looking for the. What was her name?
Brian, what do you think? JM?
Don't ask me questions.
But
6.
6.
Hey
I
guys.
was doing number 10 in my head.
The moment bro was thinking it like, yeah.
Okay. Number 11 says NL, NL, and we kind of already did that one when we talked about the 6 getting cut in half. So NL is still 3. We have any OCD people that this is bugging?
I have OBC.
Yeah, I know.
I
You
have-
do not have OCD.
I have
I
autism. I have autism.
How'd you guys explain so much?
And the directions said JL is 6 long.
Brooke.
Stop.
Oh.
Brooke. Ryan.
Okay.
Just stop.
Number 13. Okay, this was I think of it as like a shredder, but it's like 4 knives that are going across an equal. Anyways, that picture on 13, it says find ED. See ED at the bottom there? If GF is 3. So basically those lines are going to be cutting, those parallel lines are cutting other lines into congruent segments. You can tell because on the left side, all those segments are congruent. So if GF is 3, then how long is ED?
Also 3.
Also 3.
So simple.
Yep. Okay, 15. This one you have to use your brain just a little bit. How long is AB if AD equals 12?
6.
Nope.
4.
How many little segments is AD made up of? 3.
So 4.
I just said.
So if the whole thing is 12, AB is 1/3 of that. So 12 divided by 3 is.
It's 4.
Okay, 17.
I have a question. For number 8, it says X.
Yeah, we're not doing that right now. Actually, I already mentioned that to Corbin. 8. The exterior angle is when you extend one side of the. So it's this angle right here. You gotta find out what that is. All right. 17. It says the handrail, vertical supports, and bottom support rail form parallelograms. So what do you think the handrail is in that picture? The handrail would be what? Hmm? What's the handrail? What's the handrail in that picture? Where would you put your hand at?
On the handrail.
No,
Top.
on the top. On the top.
On the sides.
We're looking at the picture on page 260. The handrail would be the top rail. Because you grab onto it with your hand to hold yourself. Okay, what do they mean by the supports? Not angles. The vertical lines, like these poles that are holding up the handrail. They're vertical and they help support it. Okay, and then it says in the bottom support rail. Okay, so that'd be on the bottom. 17A, if the vertical supports join the handrail at a 65-degree angle. So where would that 65-degree angle be? The vertical supports hit the handrail, 65-degree angle. Then what are all the other angles? Okay, if this is 65, this is 65. If this is 65, this is 180 minus 65. 115. And if this is 65, this is 115 as well. Okay, B, if the vertical supports are 3 feet long, so we're not talking about angles anymore, we're talking about the length of the supports. If those are both 3 feet long, and the handrail, they're attached to the handrail every 5 feet, so where should the 5 feet go? Handrail, top. The vertical supports are attached to the handrail every 5 feet. The question is, I think they asked how long is the bottom rail? How long will the bottom be? 5. Not all of these are supposed to be tricky questions. Some of them are pretty easy. Huh?
There is no C.
Yep, 215 degree angles. Okay. C, where do the diagonal supports meet? So in that picture, there's kind of like two diagonals. Where would they meet at? Where do diagonals meet at in a parallelogram? Middle.
The diagonal bar.
The midpoint of the diagonals.
Did I make a funny joke? No.
If Luke's not laughing, it's definitely not funny.
Hey, Luke.
If he is laughing,
Then it's funny.
probably still not funny.
Yeah. Folks.
That's
He just laughed at that like 10 minutes ago.
No, I did not.
You literally laughed.
No, I was not.
You're evil, bro.
Luke, sometimes you just need to accept it whenever you're wrong.
Oops.
I am never wrong.
Okay.
Must be nice.
Oreo and cashew.
Not anymore, I don't.
Absolutely no sound.
They don't need chestnuts.
What's your favorite pony from My Little Pony?
I have two actually.
You put
See?
them on
I have two actually.
The purple
You're not
one.
defending that you
Hey,
used to watch
do you
it.
like the blue one?
No, I like Applejack and Pinkie Pie.
Oh my god.
He even knows their names.
Pinkie Pie.
Goon.
Good thing Jaden.
I know one of the sisters. I know one of my favorite characters.
Pinkie
I
Pie.
I know two of the little ones. Sweetie Pie and Applebee.
Chat. Luke.
He put me up there on his hearing out.
I didn't know. That was Jane.
That was you. That was you.
Hey, wait, what's the
I think my favorite
Let's do it here. Neat.
That.
Nita.
Grandma from Cook.
Sally from Colors.
All right. On 21A, it says find the measure of angle ENA. So here's angle ENA. That'd be right there. So what is that angle going to have to be?
36.
36, because the alternate interior angle thing. So that's just A. And then on B, we're going to have to do a little bit of algebra. It says find angle T. Well, what's angle T going to be the same thing as? Yeah, angle E, which is X. So they put an X up here, but they also put, let's
X
see,
minus 2 on him.
an X minus 2 right here. So you're going to have to use this information. Brian, you should be facing this way. We have to use this information to figure out what X is. What do I know about these three angles? They should add up to 180 because they're basically this and this. Consecutive angles should add up to 180. So X plus X minus 2 plus 36 equals 180. All right, you guys still got your algebra skills? What do I do now?
Distributed.
You distribute it.
No.
You do X plus
X plus X. Distribute is when you're multiplying. We're not multiplying here.
Okay, guys.
X plus X
2X.
minus 2 plus 36.
34.
Okay.
Minus 34.
One, even you did all
146.
Divide by
I'm
two.
math today.
And then 146 divided by 2 is.
I have no idea.
Okay, is that our answer?
Yes. No.
Yeah, actually it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
because x, this is x also, so this is also 73. So actually, yeah, x is our answer on this one. Yep.
On 22, well, we just have to like find the x and y to like.
Well, you know that the opposite sides are the same, right?
I'll need to start talking to her.
You have to use that fact.
Okay, salt.
Okay, 23, let me scroll down here. It's kind of like 23. Shh. It says find the side length PQ. What do we know about the length of PQ? It's x. What else do we know about PQ?
Parallel to SR.
What else do we know about? What do we know about the length of PQ? It's the same as what?
Y plus 2.
Yes, it's the same as SR. Be quiet. Okay, PQ and SR are the same. So therefore, x equals y plus 2. Now, is that solvable?
No.
No, we need more information. What other two things must be the same in that picture?
And then line PS and QR.
Right. PS, the left, and QR, the right, should be the same. So x plus 3 equals 2y plus 1. Okay. We did have tricks last year to solve this, but we haven't used it this year yet.
Minus x.
No.
You do the little one. I don't know, I forgot what it's called.
Any ideas?
Can't remember what it's called.
Yep.
Balance it out, or wait, no.
Okay, there was a couple tricks we learned to solve systems of equations. Like, you can't solve one of these by itself because there's two variables. But there's a way to get rid of variables.
You line them up like that.
Okay, you can line them up and add them together in a way that they get rid of them, or,
Since x equals y plus 2 plug y plus 2 in for x.
yeah, in this case, substitution would be better. If x equals y plus 2, we can turn x in this equation into y plus 2. So if I rewrite the second equation, it's called substitution, replacing something with something of equal value. If I replace the x in the second equation with y plus 2, I have a one variable equation that I can solve. What do I do now? Plus 2 plus 3, let's simplify it first, is 5. If I have y's on both sides,
Is it minus y?
minus y. So y is 4. How do I find x though? How do I find x?
Plug it in, plug it in.
4 plus 2 equals x, so x is 6. Okay, are these the answers?
No.
No. Because what they're asking for is PQ, and PQ is x, and x is 6. So the answer is PQ equals 6. And then on B, it's asking for QR. 2y plus 1, so 2 times 4 plus 1. Is 9. So these are the actual answers. Maybe I shouldn't circle the other ones.
You should become a Jedi.
I am a Jedi.
Follow me from.
Can you do
You guys start 24. Okay, on 24 it says PV equals blah blah and VR equals blah blah. What do we know about PV and VR?
They're
Yes, they're both half of a diagonal, equal halves. So PV equals VR, kind of like the one we just did. So A plus 1 equals 2B. Is that solvable? No. And then on the other one it says QV equals that, VS equals that. So same thing, QV and VS are two halves of the same, so they're the same. A minus 1 equals B plus 1. Okay,
A equals
any
B plus
bright
2.
ideas on this one?
A
No.
equals B plus 2.
You
X
could
plus
minus
1
one.
equals 2.
To put it on the other side. And that would
Oh,
be-
wow, that's how the.
that would
Okay.
get your A.
Brooke's algebra preference is coming through here. She said minus 1. Why would we minus 1 here?
Put it on the other side.
to
Find
make
A.
Because this gets A by itself, and then we have something that we can substitute A for.
Equals B plus 2.
A equals 2B minus 1, so I can switch the A in the second equation with 2B minus 1.
X plus 1 equals 2B.
Okay, this is where I get off.
A equals B plus
I'm getting off the train. You guys are.
No. I can't say.
I'm
Oh my
going
God.